1 second.
Says the stream is live.
Yeah, I have to go on to the YouTube end here.
I might have to go for a quick makeup touch-up before we go live.
Hey, there's actually a thing for that right on your guys' screens. You can do. You can make yourselves look prettier.
Is that a suggestion?
Is that the leave tab?
No, Mike was playing with that the other day. A little glow.
You could have a beer night. What's your favorite beer?
There you go. Yeah.
While drinking it. Yep. That's a good idea.
My favorite. Yep. Beers from around the globe. RC night.
Oh, yeah. That's what I miss in Calgary.
All right, we are live.
It's low. Careful.
Let's give me 1 second to get this stuff shared out.
Yeah, and then just run the countdown.
Chuck, when's the last time you saw Carter?
When is the last time? I don't think I saw him when I went to Calgary in November.
Oh, no, that's right. He was out of town working.
Yeah, that's right. And then was Carter racing in March last year when I went there? Okay, that's probably where I saw him. And then before that, it was a couple of Nitro Stampedes.
It'll have to have been maybe on road, I think.
Because I've been to the Nitro Stampede a couple of times. That's always fun.
Yeah.
I get really drunk.
No.
There's a theme developing already tonight.
The deep, dark stories will come out, right?
This is now the TMZ of RC racing.
Yeah. Remember when? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike, remember when I built an RC car on the way to an RC race?
I always talk about that story all the time. All the time. When we did it on the boat there. The boat that gets you from Vancouver to Victoria.
Yeah, driving from Calgary to Victoria.
Yeah.
It's like, Chuck, are you ready? I'm like, yeah, I'm ready. I got my box. It's like, oh, what's in the box? Like, an RC car. It's all bagged up and everything. So I'm cracking open the bags and building the car while Mike's driving. Oh, man, that's great.
Plenty of time.
Oh, you know, the dashboard of the truck. That's a great setup for it.
Not tweaked at all. Not at all.
No, not at all.
Is that the first call-in?
No.
See if we all get blanked. I like that backdrop.
Yeah, Carter, did you change up your colors? It's not red and white anymore. It's red and orange, or orange and white.
Well, it's still white and red, white, red, and black.
Oh, okay. Okay. Cool.
Back here, Chuck.
Yep. Ah, there it is. Nice. I changed up mine a bit. Rather than painting, I'm just using a marker now. And just using a marker on all of my bodies.
No paint?
I back it with white, but it's just a black marker now. It's that whole two-dimensional, sketchy drawing style. It's not that. It's faster. It's a lot faster, that's for sure.
Oh yeah. Or you just go the solid color. That's really fast.
That's the non-creative, practice body color. Yeah.
What do you mean practice?
That's
We got a few solid red race ones. That's when Dad has to paint them. That's right. Solid red. What do we?
Shawn, what's new in Saskatchewan there?
Well, we get the big thing for us is our indoor track, our clay indoor track for off road. We have a 70 by 40 foot all clay track. Just put in the clay this year. It had been just dirt before.
Right. Yes.
Pulled the dirt out, put clay in, so it's straight clay now. So a lot nicer. And then we glue it, so kind of to, for lack of a better term, conform to all the other clay tracks out there. But it definitely makes a difference on the how it wears and just the traction and everything else. So yeah, that's
so it's a glue instead of an oil, because I know back in Quebec a lot of the guys are doing a lot of oil on the tracks.
Yeah, I know a lot of them are doing, like for the outdoor tracks and that, do linseed oil, from what I understand. But no, we just do a glue and water mix, and just spray it on with chemical sprayers, and seal the track that way.
Cool.
So,
How did that hold up? That spray?
Pretty good. We unfortunately weren't able to do another treatment of it before we just had our
Blizzard.
the blizzard race, yeah. And ironically, the weekend before there was a blizzard here, so we weren't able to get out and treat it. So notice the difference now, but we hadn't treated it since probably October, November. So it lasted quite a while, and we raced on it pretty much weekly. It gets run on pretty much every Sunday. So
nice.
So, guys, it looks like we're actually online live right now. We've had some technical difficulties in the back, of course. First episode of anything. So, everybody, welcome to the RC Action podcast. My name is Mike San Antonio. My partner in crime, Lloyd Strafniak. Did I do that right, Lloyd?
Close enough.
Well, close enough. All right, sounds good. And the guests we have today is John and Carter Harasmiak from Calgary, from RC Gears. We have Chuck Benelin. He is from Vancouver, and we have Shawn Scharf out of Saskatoon, the Saskatoon Off-Road RC Club. Welcome, guys. Thank you very much for joining us on the podcast today, our premiere episode, and thank you very much.
Thanks for having us.
So first, I'd like to obviously thank Car and RCGears.net, two clubs locally here in Calgary that has sponsored the RC Action podcast, which is awesome. They're helping us kind of lift off and hopefully become something. And basically the game plan of this RC podcast is basically, put us out, put the Canadian market out there, put the tracks, the clubs, the drivers, the companies, and basically an open forum to talk about everything RCing, from Lloyd being one of Canada's top drag racers to John and Carter, Chuck and Shawn being top off-road racers and on-road racers, which is awesome. So it's great to have you guys here. It's actually a huge compliment to me and Lloyd and in getting you guys, and thank you again.
My pleasure.
So I guess what we'll do is we'll start out with a little bit of introduction for those of you who don't know me very much. I was basically born and raised in Toronto, and moved to Calgary, then to Saskatoon, and then I'm currently back in Calgary. Love the Saskatoon scene, love the Toronto scene, but I'm actually number one passion is here in Calgary. Got a great off-road club, got a great on-road club, and a lot of great drivers to basically stress you out as much as possible. So I do on-road racing and off-road racing. Nitro buggies kind of my number one passion, but I do all the other classes for the joy and fulfillment as well. And I guess I'll pass it over to Lloyd. Lloyd, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey, what's going on? Well, welcome to the podcast. Thanks for joining. And so my name's Lloyd Spraniak. Just got into carpet racing actually after 12, 13 years now. But my main passion is the RC drag racing side of things. So we have a local club here in Calgary, Alberta RC Street Outlaws, and we have a sister group in Edmonton, that Edmonton RC Outlaws. And so we just do a bunch of drag racing, MPRC. I've been traveling around into Montana and different areas doing it professionally for the last 3 years. So that's been a lot of fun. And so just getting back into carpet racing. So this is my first full year in the carpet racing mini and USGT. That's a little bit about me.
That's awesome, Lloyd. Now, just a little question, I guess. A lot of people think drag racing, that's like, 3 seconds down a straight. It's super easy and can't be that expensive, but tell us the truth.
It's like anything. It depends on how far you want to jump into the rabbit hole. But if you want to run box stock, you can go to your local hobby shop and pick up either a low C22S or a Traxxas Drag Slash or even the DR10 from Team Associated, and get your foot in the door for $500-600, and you can be competitive all day long and ready to run box stock. Or you can come up in Outlaw where you're spending $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 on a car and a backup car, and plus every race is in the States, so you're traveling. So it just depends how far you want to go down the rabbit hole. But if you do go down there and race, you're looking like take-home pots are anywhere from $5,000 to $50,000-$60,000 cash at the end of a race weekend.
Wow. And what is kind of like winnings that you've taken home as well?
I've never come in first place yet, but I've hit a couple semifinals and top runs. So haven't been able to make the big bucks yet, but we'll see what this year brings.
Don't I know with you it's going to come real soon. Well, thanks, Lloyd. And then we have John and Carter. Hi guys, how's it going?
Good, and you?
Not too bad.
Good. From teammates of of course, teammates of mine with Reedy and Associated. But I guess talk a little bit about yourselves and I guess RC Gears as well.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's in Cole notes, we'll make it short, but Carter's the racer. I'm the mechanic. I've never really raced. Carter started, I was thinking about that the other day. We started 12, 7 or 8 years old. So
yeah,
he's been racing. We bought a Traxxas Slash for a Christmas present and 2-wheel drive, and that's how it started. So it took off from there, and he's been with Team Associated on the team now, I think, for the last 5 years.
It's awesome.
So he's worked his way up. He works hard and he races hard, and we do his main thing is off-road. He enjoys the most, but he can speak to that. But we do carpet racing in the winter, on-road stuff. We've been doing that for just about as long. So we do that. I was the former president of RC Gears. I stepped away this past year, but still in the picture a little bit, helping out what needs to be done and assisting where we can. And I mean, RC Gears been around 25 plus years at the track we're at now. So it's a great hobby. It's a great adventure, great fun. I don't know,
Yeah,
Carter, do you have
cool.
anything?
I mean, yeah, like you said, I think when I was 8 or something, and I think it was something along the lines of like, is there anywhere I can race this? The track's a slash, and then I guess he hopped on Facebook or something and found the local track, and then it just kind of, guess you could say, snowballed on from there, and then just kept going with it. So
Yeah.
Then he started talking
Yeah, I
to
mean,
others.
like, you know what?
Go ahead.
Yeah, and you know what? Like an off-road, essentially, especially in the nitro classes, it's a very team sport. And you too, John, you're one of the best pitmen I've seen. It's amazing to see. So credit to you as well. You do amazing. You got an amazing driver. Your son behind you. It's awesome. I mean, you know, as most of you guys know, my wife is my pit woman, and she looks up to you, John. She definitely looks up to you because we want to be a family team like you guys. It's awesome what you guys do.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. And what does RC Gears you think is looking like for this year?
Well, again, it's when I was club president, it's always continued improvement, right? I mean, you always got to look ahead a little bit, you know, projects. There's always something to do at the track, improvements, maintenance, right? I mean, it's always that end of things.
Right.
You know, growing the club, new members, you know, we're always pushing the juniors. We want more juniors out to see, you know, that's the industry. You got to keep the young ones coming or else it disappears, right? And
For sure.
we're a small group of racers, and it's sometimes a tough sell to bring the people in and keep them going, right? Keeping them interested. So we're always doing things, you know, and one thing I got to plug for RC Gears. I mean, we look at it, you know, that we put in a, you know, accessibility for drivers, right? We got a lift we have in place now. So, I mean, we try to push that a little bit, you know, if someone wants to come and experience it, that's in a wheelchair, you know, there's the opportunity there also, right? So we're pretty proud of that. That was
That's
a big
awesome.
project to get done. And so, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? Like I think I've told you, John, and Pete Tozer, like, you know, Calgary's always been my number one favorite off-road race and track. The layout you guys do is just absolutely amazing, and it's when I was in Calgary, it was always my kind of plan. My whole year around is the Calgary stops because I always love the Calgary track, and I still do love the Calgary track. That's why we're here.
Yeah. And just one other thing, I mean, I always got to throw it out to the past exec, you know, everyone's worked hard and everybody knows in clubs, you know, everyone leaves their mark, everybody's done something, right? And to make that club stick around and grow and whatnot. So it's always hats off to the previous exec. I always got to say they put in a lot of hard work too, and they deserve a nod as well, right? That's what keeps the tracks alive. So
yeah, definitely execs and like you said, the younger, the younger or newer hobbyists, bringing them into the track is what keeps, you know, us old guys on the track still. You know what I mean? So we appreciate all the new guys and hobbyists in every city because that's what keeps this hobby alive and keeps it fun and keeps it going, kind of thing, right? So I totally understand that for sure.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah. Thanks, guys, and we'll move over to Shawn. Shawn, how's it going in Saskatoon? How's the weather down there?
It's finally warming up, thankfully. A little over a week ago, it sure wasn't. We got hit with a weekend-long blizzard, and we got pretty much all of winter snow in 2.5 days. But we managed to dig our way out, and we're seeing some warmer temps again. So it's been not too bad.
So awesome. So I guess explain a little bit about yourself and obviously X-Ray and Ultra as well.
Yeah, for sure. So I started RC when I was a youngster and then kind of got out of it once I could like race real the full scale stuff. Went motorcycle racing for a while, then started a family and everything else went on hiatus. I got back in RC just in 2016. Got back into it thanks to our local hobby store here, also RC Hobbies, who's a huge supporter of our club, Saskatoon Off-Road Radio Control Club.
Another one of my guys I love as well. Aaron Dagnon out of Ultra RC, awesome dude.
Yeah, Aaron and Cindy, that's the family-run shop there. But yeah, so I got back into it in 2016 and figured, hey, what the heck? Why just dip my toes in the pool? I've done this before, so I jumped headlong right into 8-scale nitro again, like a fool. But you know, I don't regret it. I'm super happy. It is still one of my favorite classes. Like you said earlier, an 8-scale nitro is always fun, and it brings a bigger dynamic than just, you know, the driving in that. There's, you know, pitch strategy and fuel and everything else. It like you said, brings kind of a team aspect into it and that.
Mm-hmm.
Then just locally being here, I mean, we had, as John said, you know, you had the existing people that were running our club at the time. You start to get involved, and then I've since become a member of the executive with our club. Had some people move on, and then, you know, new blood coming in. So officially my title is a treasurer, but really, I mean, everybody's title is really just a formality. Everybody pitches in and does their part to make it all happen within a local club, right?
No,
then
for
a
sure.
couple years ago, or 6-7 years ago, we got an opportunity to start up a indoor off-road facility just outside of Saskatoon in the small community of Dundurn. They had their curling rink that they hadn't used for quite some time. It got offered to us at a very reasonable rate, thankfully. We got some donated dirt that we put in there, so it was an actual indoor dirt track. I mean, it's not large by any means, 70 by 40 foot footprint for it, but it's still plenty fun and good enough for 10 scale. And then just recently we pulled all that dirt out, and we'd been doing some fundraising and put in an all clay surface. So all clay glued surface and that, kind of trying to step up and emulate some of the big boys, like, you know, previous OCRC and SDRC and Hobbyplex and all those guys, Hobby Action. Obviously not to their dimensions, but doing our best. We have a small but dedicated group, and we race every other weekend, every other Sunday, and then the off Sundays you usually have a practice. So that track's getting utilized pretty much every weekend of the year or of the winter for us. So yeah, that's about it. For us.
Awesome.
We were
Awesome.
10 scale buggy, 4-wheel drive, 2-wheel drive, and then we have 4-wheel drive short course. And then we rotate through some of the other classes. But I mean, anybody shows up, we'll never turn anybody away. As long as you don't show up with like a X-Max. I'm afraid we don't have room for that. But you show up with a Tyco from Walmart or something from Radio Shack or something like that. Doesn't matter. We'll do our best to fit you in so you can get out there and have some fun on the track. So,
you know, when I was in Saskatoon, I mean, I got to know you guys actually through off-road. I was in part of the on-road in Saskatoon for a little bit, and then I got to the off-road and met all you guys. And I remember short course was my first kind of class, and I had brought an old Triple X Losi 2-wheel drive, and you know, I think short course, I had to quit that class because I was just laughing too much. It is just such a fun class, and you know, all you do is laugh the whole time you're hitting everybody, and it's just a blast, an absolute blast. And I know Saskatoon always loves that class.
Yeah, it seems to be where everybody, that's the stepping stone for everyone. Although now it's not probably as high a participation in that. Like we just had our annual Blizzard Trophy race just this past weekend, and our best attended class was actually 4-wheel drive buggy. So we're seeing the buggy classes grow.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, there's still always, everybody's got a little bit of their heart in the short course, with the bump to pass to mentality of it, and rubbins racing sort of thing with the full bodies, and you don't get all tangled up. But yeah, a little bit redneck out here, so everybody loves that one.
Lloyd, I wonder, can we hopefully get that little video up? Is it possible for us to get that video up and show people the Saskatoon? Is it?
Yep. That was the first video you sent me, right?
Yeah.
Yep. 1 second.
Yeah, if we could go to that video and give a little, taste to what Saskatoon's like.
Here it is.
Thank you. That's awesome. So it's basically an indoor track in Saskatoon, is it? Or in Dundurn?
Well,
really?
it's the Canadian indoor, so it's about 20-25 minutes outside of Saskatoon, but it's on I think Highway 11, so the connecting highway between Saskatoon and Regina. So it's a major highway. It's divided in that, so it gets cleared and everything. It's usually not too bad for road conditions and everything else. So
yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Thank you, Shawn. And now we'll move on to from Vancouver, the one and only he inputted on the bottom of his screen there, Chuck DeBenelin. How's it going, Chuck? How's the weather in Vancouver? That's weather I probably want to hear about.
Nice and sunny. Oh yeah.
Rub it in.
So, Chuck, tell us a little bit about yourself. Introduce yourself to the interworld.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I started as a basher, reading the magazines back in as a teenager. Bashing eventually led to racing, touring cars. Touring cars is where I really got my feet wet in competitive RC. And then from there, I guess I took a break just to focus on, being an adult and being professional. When I moved to Calgary, about 12 years ago now. Wow, it's 12 years. 12 years ago, I moved to Calgary, and that's when I got back into RC because I needed an activity outside of work. And I treated it like an activity outside of work. If you know me, you'll know that I've never been serious about RC. It's always been a fun, enjoyable activity. Nothing serious about it. And for the last 12 years, it's just been a really fun activity that's brought me all over Canada in a lot of different parts of RC as well. On-road racing, off-road racing. With off-road, I ended up getting a sponsorship through JQ, and now I'm running for Mayako. I've dabbled into building monster trucks, drift cars, crawlers, and tried after I moved back to Vancouver about 6 years ago. I wanted to do more with the hobby, but not at a competitive level. So that's when I really help with clubs. So I'm involved with the on-road club, the off-road club, the outdoor on-road club, and the outdoor off-road club, doing race directing and just helping them get their clubs sorted out when they need it. So I've been involved, not so much in the competitive aspect, but behind the scenes and getting things going. I do enjoy actually race directing a lot more than actually competitive racing, but it's all part of the hobby, and that actually took me down another road. So I actually ended up working for the largest distributor in Canada for a year. That's where I started to know Shawn and started to know Aaron and Aaron's mom as well, just watching those videos and giving them any information if they needed it promptly. And I got to basically connect with a lot of the hobby stores and retailers across Canada, which is really nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's led me to what I'm doing now, which is basically I'm a service technician at a local hobby store, focusing on custom builds. I think I just did a $2,000 X Max, $2,000 Max, and a week before that I did like a $4,000 sledge. Not really race stuff, but it's really cool. A lot of it is displayed on my channel, 2MMRC on YouTube, or just check out my Facebook as well.
Yeah, you know what? I watch your blogs all the time and the videos you post. I think it's so funny. I think my favorite one is still the Hulk Hogan theme song one. I think I told you before. I love that. So if you haven't checked it out, again, you need to plug your blog again. What is it?
2MMRC. That's a YouTube channel that I started this summer. Just try to put everything into one spot. And I do a lot of Facebook Reels with my personal channel as well, just to keep things going.
Right. Yeah. And you also do a lot of racing down in the States as well because you're in Vancouver.
Yeah, because I'm so close to the border, it's just easy to get across, and I don't have a criminal record, so I have no problem getting there. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
They haven't dug deep enough yet.
Never been convicted. Never been convicted.
Exactly. Nothing's been proven. Nothing.
That's awesome. Chuck, I always love racing with you every time we go, to another city. Even when you were here in Calgary, it's always an absolute pleasure. You make the weekend seem so effortless and fun, and just you laugh all weekend, which was keeps me on the bright side, which is awesome. So thank you.
I'm still a little sore. I tried to race Mike's car by running after it. It just didn't work.
Yes, he did that in Calgary. My mod car, we were practicing on Saturday night, and I was going down the straight, and Chuck thought he could drag race my mod car down the straight. So I thought that was pretty funny. So I guess, Shawn, tell me a little bit about you guys just had a big trophy race this past weekend.
Yeah, we did. It was I believe the third annual for the Blizzard race for us here. In the past, we had held it in February, but the weather never would. It truly would be a blizzard every year. So this year we bumped it into March. The weekend itself that it was held was really good, but the weekend before we did have a blizzard. No, it was really well attended. Everybody had a lot of fun. We couldn't do these kind of events as a club without the awesome sponsors we have and the partnership we have with places like Ultra RC Hobbies, our local hobby store. Great Canadian Oil Change here in the city on Central Avenue. The owner there helps us out a lot with sponsorship in that. We also had a bunch from like High Performance Distributors and A-Main ProTech. So all those companies really helped us, stepped up. We had some great prizes. Everybody came away with a smile on their face, had a lot of fun, some good close racing. But at the end of it all, we're running around racing each other for bowling trophies. So it's really just all about fun at this level. And
right.
Just seeing everybody with a smile on their face after the weekend is makes it all worthwhile for sure.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, for sure. No, you know what? And it's really good like that you guys have that indoor track in that facility. That way, you have like 90% of the issues of weather not affecting you guys. The only thing is, can everybody get there safely and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, that has been a factor with like the highway conditions. I will admit in the past, but as a facility, we're really really lucky. It's indoors. We've been able to, it's heated and everything. We have power. We have an on-site concession, being that it's joined with the actual hockey rink. So we have the concession from the actual rink, so you can still get that little piece of rural Saskatchewan of a hockey puck burger out there. And that,
Sauerkraut on the hot dog.
you betcha if you want. You can get chili dogs even. They got chili dogs out there. Or
You guys
you
do
name it.
taco in bags out there.
You betcha. You betcha. She's on the menu. You know it. You know it. Yeah, all the things you'd expect on the menu from a hockey rink for sure. Super awesome and helpful, friendly staff out there. The community and the town itself of Dundurn has really helped us, worked with us to be able to make this happen, and be able to keep it going and keep things affordable for within the hobby and for our members and that. Everybody pitches in to try to make it happen. So it's really, we're very, very fortunate in that sense. I'm very lucky. I think everybody else can attest. It's tough to find indoor sites for whether it's off-road or on-road, no matter where you are, whether it's Saskatoon, Calgary, Vancouver, Toronto. I mean, it's just tough to find people that will willing to rent it out to you, regardless of whether you're putting in carpet or not. They'd rather let it sit than give you a bit of a break on it for a club. So
No, for sure. Well, that's awesome. And I guess, Chuck, you guys have a race coming up pretty close here as well, don't you, Chuck? I don't know if we lost him there.
Lost Chuck.
Yeah. Oh, there. I think he's coming back.
Oh, he's muted right now. He probably doesn't hear us. Oh, there he is.
There he is. Okay. So, Chuck, you guys got your race coming up pretty soon here. I guess explain, your race coming up.
Yeah, Overgear Racing. It's the indoor touring car club in Vancouver. We got our trophy race. It's called March Madness. It's March Madness because it's an entire trophy race in one day. So there's a lot of chaos and a lot of hectic, operation. But we've done it before. That whole madness is part of the fun because it's just pop, 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 pop. No mercy minutes. If it's a mercy minute, too bad, you lose. Keep on going. Just and people like that fast pace. And realistically, it's the only way we can do it because we can't rent the facility for Sunday. We're in a gymnasium of a church, and
Right.
apparently the church has other plans on a Sunday. So
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's tough for a lot of clubs. I mean, that's great that you guys are working around those kind of issues because some of the clubs are just basically funded by 90% of the time the sponsors, the members, and things like that, and it can only do so much. But it's good that you guys are working around that to make a trophy race day over there.
it is, and it's nice because it's the same facility that we're typically doing our club races at, but it entices more people to show up and just bring their best game because there are prizes, there are trophies. Typically at a club race, we'll have a D main in scale spec. I'm anticipating that we'll have at least an E main for that scale spec, the 21.5 production car touring car class. That's what we call USGT in Canada. We call it scale spec. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we do call it scale spec here too, and absolutely love it.
Yeah, and I guess what other classes are you running for that event?
So scale spec, that is by far our biggest class. Like when we're having D mains and E mains at the club race, that's the best way to get people involved because for those people, it's an activity. It's something that they can bring their kids to. So when they bring their kids, that's two other racers that are showing up. The other class that's more popular, well, not as popular, but more focused on actual competitive racing is touring stock. Touring stock, even though it's a 21.5, the same motor and it's the same car, the aerodynamics of that vehicle, because it's a touring car body, are going to be a lot faster, and there's the weight limits are a lot lighter as well. Plus, you can run slick tires as opposed to the goofy ride tires. So I hate those ride tires.
Yeah.
The first run is so different from the 20th run. I hate those tires so much.
Yeah.
But slick tires are consistent and yeah. They've been around. Those tires were actually in production for 30 years. They've been made by the same company. It's just that one company in the United States has purchased thousands upon thousands of them and is now repackaging them as a spec tire. That's just the reality.
You know, it's funny you say that because I think they released some kind of like teasers that a new gravity tire might be coming out soon, and maybe
is it going to have the name of a Chinese company on the sidewall still?
yeah. Who knows? Who knows? But
I'd be happy if we just get some nice belted tires in, because after 4 or 5 runs with my car, it's just the worst tires I've ever had in my life.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
So on top of touring stock, we also have touring modified. Touring modified is always fun to watch because you never know what's going to happen. One mistake and the guy can go from first to fifth, or the guy can go from first to losing $1,500 because it blew up. It's so fun to watch. I can relate.
Yeah.
And then as an entry-level class, we got Tamiya. Tamiya TT01 is the entry-level class. We don't do TCS in Canada, but if we did run TCS, it would be considered GT Pro Spec, which is Tamiya TT02, and it has to be Tamiya parts.
So that's where I started off with those TT02.
Yeah.
It was a fun car. It wasn't too bad. I liked it. And as soon as you put more power to it, then that's when you see all the problems of a 20-year-old touring car come out.
Yep.
And you guys in Vancouver, you guys are fortunate. You guys actually run Nitro on road, which is, I think, above all, that's my number one favorite class in the summertime.
In the summertime, the outdoor club, Ready to Run Raceway, runs Nitro touring cars. They also run 17.5 touring stock and 21.5 scale spec, plus modified as well. So it's really fun to run touring when the touring car is working. When the Nitro touring car is not working, you just want to throw it.
That's great. Yeah, very true.
Because it's not like tuning a 21 engine in a buggy, which is a lot easier, especially if you have a large bore carburetor with those tiny little .12 engines. It's a .12. Like, it's so finicky and it's so difficult to tune if you're not prepared for what's in store.
Yeah, and I must assume you guys get weather changes throughout the day, which even makes it more difficult.
Oh, like when you show up to the track and it's 30 degrees, and then all of a sudden your A main in the evening, it drops to 20. Like, that's a 10 degrees Celsius change, and it just plays havoc on a carburetor.
No, for sure. I get that. I get that for sure. Well, that's awesome. And I guess Josh and Carter, I guess explain a little bit about RC Gears, and you guys are. I think just released some dates just recently for your big races.
Full calendar for the race year is up on our website. It's up on the Facebook page. We're doing. We run a 6 race point series throughout the year, so all those are posted as well. Wednesday nights, I think every second, roughly, you'd have to check the calendar, but every second Wednesday we run 10 scale nights only, and that's been pretty good success for RC Gears. 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive buggies, 10 scales, so we seem to get a lot of traction there. And what else is coming up this year? Of course, we have a Meltdown coming in about a month time race. We'll see how that goes. And then we have our big Nitro Stampede first weekend in August. So it should be a good season, ramping up, and
Like, I mean, the Meltdown and the Nitro Stampede, again, it's one of those races, everybody kind of focuses their year around because it's just absolute fun. I know, Shawn from Saskatoon was at Nitro Stampede, and we tangled up in the mains last year, which was awesome, and it was just a blast. Like, we always have a blast at Nitro Stampede or the Meltdown. So
it's looking forward to it. We always put a lot of effort into those races, and we try to put on a good show for everybody. And for everyone to come out and have fun. I know Chuck comes. He's been a few times from Vancouver, so hopefully he puts it into his schedule and brings a whole boatload of people with him and travels over the mountains. So,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Saskatoon, we get a good showing out of Saskatoon typically, so that's awesome to see. And
I
Edmonton,
know,
we get a good showing as well. So it's good overall. It's been one of their races they've had for decades, right? It's always been the Nitro Stampede, right?
Yeah.
It's all of the legacy. It's been going on for 25 plus years, and it's always nice to be a part of.
Yeah, speaking of that, I've never actually raced, Chuck. I don't think I've ever raced you in off-road, so you better bring on that Miyako and show us what it's all about. Yeah. Yeah, I would love to see that and see how that goes. That's awesome. So I guess RC Gears is kind of gearing up per se for the season and is going to start soon, and I guess that also opens up the door to the drag season. And Lloyd, how's the drag season going to be looking for this year?
It's going to start a lot sooner than I previously anticipated. We're actually looking at testing our spots on Sunday. It's supposed to be 18 degrees out here, so we're going to bring out our box stock cars and go see if we can wreak some havoc at our local spot.
That's awesome.
Yeah, get some cameras out and start getting our season started with testing.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, because and I'm assuming there's going to be big races in Canada for drag racing as well. Is that going to start coming up?
Crazy. Yeah. So we have the Canadian Nationals. It's out of Niagara Falls. They do a couple big races a year, and then they also do cash days. So their clubs will get together, and then everybody will just throw a pot together, and winner takes home the money for the weekend. So should be interesting. I'm planning on heading out there this year. I got invite out there, so there'll be a couple of us from the West Coast here coming out over to the east side and seeing what we can do. The only problem is out there. For me, I'm sure a couple of you guys can relate. Sometimes it's easier to go to the States to race than it is to travel across the country in your own country to be able to race. But it's definitely, I want to get out there this year. Got invited, so
that's awesome.
Want to go out there, represent the Alberta boys, and see what we can do.
That's awesome. And Chuck, you guys got the barn coming up. That was a huge release in the beginning of this year. That the barn in Vancouver. No,
that's right. The big barn race is back after several years of being away. I guess they're anticipating 300 to 350 entries. So it's a big race. It's a really fun race. The few times that I've been to it, it's always been a great time. It's an indoor race, indoor dirt, but they open up the garage bay doors so that people don't suffocate from the nitro. So yeah, it's a really fun race. Some people have complained that it's too big of a track, but the reality is that's what big tracks are like. Big tracks are that big, and if you can't see your car, it's just a matter of getting used to it because it's an experience.
At that point.
Exactly, it's a great experience to be on a big track. That's like our local track, Cam RC. It's not that big compared to what the big barn is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess John and Carter, you guys have plans to go to the barn this year? Or?
Yeah, we're signed up, so we'll be going. Carter loves the race, so you have anything to say about it?
Probably, well, yeah, like you said, it's the biggest track, and it leaves room for lots of fun. So
right,
not too tight, too technical. I like something big and flowy and wide. So,
and what classes are you guys thinking of running right now?
Just going to be all the 8 scales that we have, the
right.
E-buggy and druggy.
Oh man, yeah, Carter, you're very dangerous in those classes. You're a top driver, which is awesome, and I'm happy to be your teammate, not alone your province mates.
Yeah.
There's one other class Carter did well. He's the 2-time winner for the 4-wheel drive 10 scale. So we're on the fence whether we'll
Give it to
go
someone
for a
else.
3-peat or will we just walk away. We haven't
Right.
decided yet. So
Right. Well, no, you guys really put on a show when you guys go out. So it's awesome to hear that you guys are heading to the bar and Shawn, I heard you guys you got a big group coming from Saskatoon going to the bar.
We do have probably I think 8 or 10 people off the top of my head that are coming from our club to attend it. Some of us have attended before. Some of this it'll be their first time. Myself, I've gone since the very first one. I've never missed one. So as soon as it came back, I signed up right away to get back in on this one. This is kind of one of the biggest races or off-road races, I'll say, for Canada at least. It's kind of like our Silver State type of thing, being the venue it is and everything else. And being just a lonely Saskatchewan boy sitting here in the gap, filling in between the East and the West, it's nice to get out to the nice weather on the coast. So
No, I get it.
definitely looking forward to it. We've got all our Airbnbs booked and flights are booked and everything else. So yeah, we're ready to go.
And what classes are you running, Shawn?
I'm running nitro buggy and just standard nitro buggy and then 40 plus nitro buggy.
That's awesome.
I'm an old guy, so I get to race the senior men's classes. So
yeah, not many people have the 40 plus class, and I mean I love the 40 plus class. Never raced in it, but I need it because Carter being an amazing fast driver, whipping cars left, right, and center. I don't have that skill. I'm over 40. I'm barely making it up to the driver's head, let alone.
Yeah, no, I can empathize for sure.
Yeah.
well, you guys hold your own. Trust me, you guys do well. So
we just pretend. That's all. We try to pretend. Yeah.
I'm on the fake it till I make it.
That's right. That's right. I always say to Pete and Carter, I'm just the cheerleaders here for you guys. That's all. I'm just here for backup. If you guys need a tire, I'm here for a tire. I don't know.
But you're having fun. It's all good, and we're all working together, right?
Yeah,
and everyone pulls together, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Other people, everyone lends a hand. So
no, for sure. You know what? To me, a lot of the races, like these 3-day races, the race itself becomes like the background of everything, and it's meeting new people, being able to hang out with people. Like when Chuck comes down to Calgary, it's being able to chill out with Chuck and just have a blast all weekend long and stuff like that. But I find sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I'm up next. Like I totally forgot about the race part. I'm just having so much fun meeting and talking to new people, right? Which is awesome.
And that brings up the car, right? The car big race coming up in a week and a half, right? So
yeah. So car is racing in a week and a half. It's on-road racing. We've got basically people from obviously Calgary, Edmonton, Fort Mac. A guy from Fort Mac that comes down. He's actually here in Calgary right now and was texting me today, and which is awesome. And then we get some people from Vancouver and Kamloops and Saskatoon. That Saskatoon always puts their heads in the game and comes home with hardware all the time, which is awesome. But the Canadian Carpet Championships, if you guys haven't seen on the Facebook, on carcarcalgary.com, all the information's there. Registration for that is actually still open. And I think right now, the last time I saw the count, it was, to give you an idea, for the stock class was about 40 drivers in the stock class, which is going to be absolutely awesome. And I don't know if you have anything else to add, John, to Car and their event and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's behind the scenes is putting in a lot of work for it. So, I mean, hats off to everybody that's doing it, right? I know what it takes. All of us knows what it takes to put on a race, run a race. It's a lot of work. And, we do it because we love doing it. And yeah, I think it's going to be a great event. It's always good. And it'll be a big one, right? This will be one of the bigger ones cars had for a while. And yeah, I'm looking forward to some good racing.
All my cameras out there, so hopefully able to get a bunch of awesome footage of the racing and see if I can go live on some of the races. If not, a lot of them will be all edited and put up on the page, so whoever can't make it can enjoy watching it after the fact.
Yeah, so that's a plug that RC Action is going to be there at Car at the Canadian Carpet Championships, which is awesome. So for those of you, you can either tune in live or watch the replay of the whole weekend, which is always awesome to see. Even for the drivers, we get to see how our driving skill was from another perspective and stuff like that. That's cool. Definitely. But yeah, like Car, to be honest with you, Car has got amazing drivers up and down every main, even in as simple as the club days. A lot of the top drivers in Western Canada are at Car, which is awesome, and a couple of them are actually from Edmonton that come down to Car, which really gives us a run for our money per se. But yeah.
Yeah, and the club seems to be growing on a daily basis now too. Even when I was there yesterday trying to do my handicap one-hand racing, like we must have had 35, 40 people there.
Yeah, we were there last night for practice. It was crazy how many people were there.
Yeah, I've never seen so many cars on the track at one time. People standing up on the stairs and everything, trying to get a piece of the action. So it was nice. I was off for a couple of weeks because I had an accident at work, dislocated my shoulder, but I was feeling good enough yesterday to be able to get out there and rip the mini around. And yeah, that class is crazy. You can almost have every letter of the alphabet for mains now, so should be good racing on Sunday, and hopefully pretty crazy racing there during the our event.
Yeah, so Canadian Carpet Championships, March 22nd to 24th here in Calgary. It's going to be an amazing weekend, and then for Calgary, the next step is going to be RC Gears Meltdown, and then everybody's kind of gear up for that as well. And then obviously we have Chuck at OCR, and they have their race coming up for March. So it's awesome to see that Canada's kind of got things going all over the place, and again, this is a great avenue to kind of broadcast it and put it on another national level. But yeah. I guess, anything else you guys want to kind of bring up?
No, just thanks to you guys for throwing this all together. I think it's a great opportunity for the local scene, even, Alberta, Calgary, Alberta, across Canada. I've yet to see one of these local. So I think it's a great step, and hopefully we get some good feedback, and hopefully we got some viewership tonight.
Yeah, for sure.
The stats. So.
Yeah, I mean, Lloyd and I's kind of concept for this was, just let's put the drivers and the clubs and everything, out into the basic market and put us so that people could see what's going on in each city. And that's why you guys are all kind of representing different cities, is because we want to show that, this is not just a local thing. We're looking at Canada wide, and I'm hoping to, down the road, bring a lot of my old friends from Toronto onto the show, and hopefully Chuck helps us with the Vancouver side, and Shawn helps us with the Saskatoon middle of the earth side. But yeah, guys, I just want to say thank you very much, guys, for being on our first premiere episode. It was awesome to have you guys and kind of boast a little bit about your clubs and yourselves and stuff like that. And if you see one of these guys at any racetrack, these guys are the guys to watch. Typically, all three of these guys are top racers, so they're definitely guys to watch, and we're going to bring on hopefully more people, so you can kind of everybody in the world gets to meet these people and put them on a stage, and it's awesome. So thank you guys.
Awesome. Thanks.
Much appreciated.
All right, guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to end this podcast thanks to my partner in crime, Lloyd, Josh Carter, and Shawn and Chuckington for being on the podcast. It's awesome. And there's his team shirt. He's showing off the team shirt too, and the team bows. We will. We're planning to schedule another podcast probably. If everything works out, we're going to aim for again Wednesday at 8:00. So for those of you who are watching this via recorded version and want to tune in on the live podcast, it'll be 8:00 Mountain Standard Time, and so for all those of you guys who are in different cities and different time clocks and different time zones, you guys can log in. And hopefully we get to chat with everybody on the world and see where this takes us. But again, thank you very much, RCgears.net, for sponsoring this podcast. Thank you to you guys for being and giving the time out to me and Lloyd for being on the podcast as well.
Well, thank you guys very much. It's a daunting thing here. You guys are really appreciated what you're doing and all the work that's involved. So much appreciated.
Awesome.
Yeah, thanks very much. It's really good. This has been really fun. And if I could say one last thing.
Sorry.
Public service announcement. If you are going to get rid of your transponder, do not sell it. You need to destroy it. Destroy your old transponders. I hate it. I hate it so much when, as a race director, I see a guy drive by and it says Mike San Antonio. I'm like, how the heck did Mike San Antonio get here? Destroy your old transponders. I'm so tired of changing names on the computer. If you don't want your transponder, destroy it. Break it. Put it on the ground. Step on it. Do not sell your transponder. Do not sell transponders. Do not buy used transponders. Buy it brand new and then destroy it when you're done with it. That's all. Never, ever buy a used transponder. Destroy your old transponders. Okay. Congrats.
That being said, if anybody needs any transponders, I have some used ones for sale.
All right, perfect. I'll take them all.
That's awesome, Chuck. Awesome. I love that, man. Maybe we have to get a quote of the week from you all the time.
Destroy your
That's
transponder.
awesome. Destroy your transponder. That's how we're ending this podcast.
And for guys that's watching or future watching, if you have any questions, throw them into the comments so we can get in. Because I look at everything every day. We can make a list of comments and questions, and we can bring them up during the next podcast.
Yeah. Awesome.
Feedback is what makes it better, right, guys? Feedback.
Yep. Perfect.
For sure.
Awesome. Thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in. You're watching RC Action Podcast live from everybody's home and into your home, which is awesome. Thank you very much, everybody.
Have a good one. So talk to you guys later.